Chosen one, anchor your spirit to what I am about to reveal right now, because what I uncovered while preparing this message made me sit in silence longer than I am comfortable admitting. You feel the massive shift happening around you. The atmosphere in your home has been heavy and strange lately. You are not imagining this sudden change. The enemy has been working overtime against you for one specific reason. He knows exactly what shifts the moment you receive these powerful words. You did not find this message by accident today. The algorithm did not bring you to this screen. A divine appointment, scheduled before the foundations of the earth, guided your hand here. I know what the last 72 hours have felt like for you, waking at 3 in the morning with a heavy weight on your chest. You try to explain it to the people you love, but the conversations just stop when you walk into the room. You have done all the deep inner work. You have read all the popular books about manifestation and the law of attraction. You visualize the absolute abundance you know you deserve. You wake up early and you grind tirelessly in the modern hustle culture. And yet the financial wealth simply never materializes for you because you are fighting a hidden biological battle. It leaves you feeling like you missed a secret foundational chapter that everyone else somehow received. You watch the top 1% attract money and rare opportunities with zero apparent effort. You know deep down that the advice to just work hard and get rich is a complete lie. The quiet frustration builds inside your chest every single time you look at your bank account. You feel the heavy burden of generational struggle pressing down. You carry this strange biological disadvantage that makes you feel the financial deck was stacked against you from birth. You experience constant mental fog and relentless anxiety around your monthly bills. This anxiety completely blocks the intuitive ideas and sharp decision-making that the elite naturally possess. You believe deeply you are meant for a life of total abundance and true greatness, but your internal wealth magnet feels forcefully switched off. The world told you to just push harder and hustle longer. They told you that if you were not rich, you were simply lazy or lacked discipline. But your spirit has always known there was something missing from that broken equation. You are incredibly sensitive to the energy around you. You are an empath who carries the heavy emotional burdens of everyone else. You give so much to others while receiving so little in return. Before we dive deeper, I want to plant a very important seed in your mind. There is something completely hidden from the general public. Something discovered not in a cheap motivational book, but inside a highly classified laboratory. It is a biological secret, secretly funded by elite billionaires, and it is fully verified by top-tier neuroscience. It finally explains the massive gap you feel every single day. It explains the frustrating gap between the beautiful wealth you visualize and the harsh reality you wake up to every morning. I will reveal exactly what this biological secret is before we finish today. But first you must deeply understand why the financial deck was stacked against you from the very beginning. So hold on to this one vital question right now. What if your financial struggle is not a lack of hustle? What if it is not poor financial planning or a failure to visualize properly? What if your lifelong struggle to attract abundance is actually a dormant frequency just waiting to be switched on? You have been running a grueling race with heavy weights tied to your ankles. The elite billionaires pay expensive Manhattan lawyers to keep this secret completely hidden from the shrinking middle class, while they quietly multiply their own massive fortunes. They desperately want you exhausted and distracted. If you are constantly tired and stressed, you cannot access the frequency of true wealth. The entire system is perfectly designed to keep your brilliant mind trapped in a low survival mode. But the moment you finally understand what is physically blocking you, their entire dark assignment against your life collapses. That low hum of anxiety you have been carrying all week is not normal. It is an internal alarm bell ringing loudly. Your spirit is telling you that something massive is about to permanently change. You are standing directly between two completely different identities right now. the old one dissolving in the past, and the wealthy one, heaven, is birthing for your bright future. Do not click away from this urgent message. If you leave before the final end, you walk away from the very verdict heaven carefully deposited for you. Stay until the very last word. In the next few minutes, I am going to reveal exactly why the modern hustle culture is a dangerous trap. I will expose the biological lie that has been keeping you and your family chained to financial anxiety for generations. And at the very end, I will give you the specific declaration that seals everything heaven just spoke. Your massive breakthrough is hiding right inside these next few minutes. I see you completely right now. You look around and see people who are far less talented than you succeeding effortlessly. They build massive wealth while you are stuck counting every single penny. It feels deeply unfair. And every time you try to pull yourself out of the hole, something invisible pushes you right back down. You smile for your family. You push through the heavy exhaustion. But inside you are barely holding on. You have done everything the spiritual teachers told you to do. You repeat the positive affirmations until your throat is completely dry. You visualize a beautiful future of absolute abundance, but the reality of your daily life simply never matches the vision in your mind, and this creates a deep sense of internal failure. This is where the dark guilt starts creeping in. You wonder if heaven has simply forgotten about you and your family. Here is the brutal truth the elite do not want you to know. The universe responds to the top 1% and leaves the rest of the world struggling. But this is not because they work harder than you. It is not because they visualize better or have stronger discipline. The real difference is entirely biological. Deep inside your physical brain is a tiny walnut-sized region called the hippocampus. This small piece of anatomy controls everything. In the insanely wealthy elite, this brain region is thick and highly developed. It is constantly broadcasting a microscopic frequency that acts like a powerful magnetic vacuum. It literally pulls money and lucrative opportunities toward them effortlessly. But, for the average person, the reality is much darker. Because you were not born into an 8-figure family, you inherited a biological disadvantage. Science actually calls it a shrunken hippocampus. Instead of broadcasting a powerful wealth frequency, your brain is trapped broadcasting a weak survival wave, and the modern world is perfectly designed to keep it exactly that way. Endless stacks of bills and exhausting hustle culture drain your energy daily. Constant financial anxiety pushes your natural ability to attract abundance deeper into dormancy. Every time you stress over money, this tiny region shrinks a little bit more inside your head. This is exactly why you can read every self-help book for years with zero results. You are desperately trying to manifest wealth while your internal receiver is completely powered down. You end up chasing money endlessly while the elite simply let it flow to them. It is a biological block passed down from generation to generation. It is quietly sabotaging your highest potential while you blame yourself for the failure. I need you to release the heavy shame you have been carrying right now. Your lack of wealth is not a character flaw or a failure of your faith. You have been operating with a suppressed frequency your entire life. It is like trying to listen to a beautiful song with the radio turned off. The wealth you deeply desire is already circling around you, but your biological receiver is currently broken and cannot tune into it. This biological block is the true root of the generational financial curse you feel. Your parents and their parents lived in constant survival mode too. They unknowingly passed this shrunken anatomy down to you. And now you are the one chosen to finally break this painful cycle for good. You are the cycle breaker for your entire bloodline. But you cannot break a biological curse with just positive thinking or empty daily journaling. Remember the vital question I asked you to hold a few minutes ago. I asked, what if your struggle was just a dormant frequency waiting to be switched on? You are about to see that the answer is scientifically proven, and it is much closer to you than you could ever imagine. Top-tier neuroscientists have recently discovered a precise acoustic frequency capable of breaking this dormancy. They found a brilliant way to wake up that shrunken region. I will tell you exactly what this acoustic frequency is called before this message ends. I will show you how to access it and change your bloodline forever. But right now, you must understand the massive spiritual implications of this discovery. Most people will go to their graves believing they just did not work hard enough. They will spend their entire lives exhausted and broke. But you are not most people. You are the chosen one. Your spirit brought you here because it is time to wake up. The long season of living in quiet desperation is finally coming to an end. Heaven is aligning science and spirituality to hand you the exact key you need. The enemy wants you to click away and stay trapped in the survival wave. But I know you will stay because your soul recognizes the absolute truth. You can literally feel the heavy chains starting to loosen. The elite billionaires are terrified of what happens when chosen ones like you wake up. They want to keep you distracted with pointless debates and endless exhausting labor. They know that a fully activated mind cannot be controlled or manipulated. When your internal wealth receiver is finally restored, everything around you will rapidly shift, and the very people who doubted you will watch your sudden rise in pure disbelief. But let me reframe your entire reality right now. That financial isolation you have been calling a punishment was never a punishment. It was a divine preparation for your future. You looked at your empty bank account and thought heaven had completely abandoned you, but God actually removed the loud crowd so he could finally speak to you without interference. Your current lack of wealth is not evidence of your disqualification. It is undeniable evidence of your divine selection. This is the very first thing I promised you at the beginning. I promised to reveal the exact reason why your endless hard work never made you rich. The answer is that your physical, biological receiver was completely jammed by the noise of this world. The enemy tricked you into believing that hustle culture was the only path to success, while he quietly kept your brain trapped in a desperate frequency of survival. You cannot attract true abundance while broadcasting fear. Look at the greatest chosen ones throughout human history. David was completely forgotten in the lonely fields by his own family. Joseph was thrown into a dark pit and stripped of his colorful coat. They were both isolated and completely broke. But heaven was not punishing them for their mistakes, because heaven was actively protecting their internal frequency from the toxic contamination of ordinary people around them. They were placed in the crucible to build their spiritual capacity. Your deep pain was never meant to break you permanently. It was perfectly designed to develop a capacity inside you that most people will never understand. You have been walking through a fiery furnace for years, and this brings us to something most people miss entirely. The people who walked away from you were not rejecting you, but they were subconsciously terrified because they sensed a powerful frequency they could not yet understand. They simply could not handle your heavy mantle. You have always been called too sensitive and too deep. You feel the heavy energy in a room the moment you walk through the door. What you carry inside your chest is not a broken wound. It is a powerful spiritual weapon. The extreme sensitivity they told you to hide is actually a divine radar, and the incredible depth that made you feel like too much is the very thing that gives your words weight. You were built for a totally different frequency. Once you understand that you are not broken, you are ready for this next revelation. There is a much deeper layer to why your frequency feels so heavily suppressed right now. It is a deeper root that will keep operating beneath every season if you do not expose it today. You carry a massive energetic signature that the physical world is desperately trying to silence. Coming up soon, I will expose exactly how they keep it silenced. But first, this profound truth must land deep in your spirit and settle like solid bedrock. Let this truth change your mind. You are not meant to be a normal person living a mediocre life. You were never meant to be everyone else's savior while you silently drown in massive debt. You were meant to carry one specific assignment that only you can fulfill. The heavy warfare against your finances is absolute proof of the massive magnitude of your calling. The enemy does not waste premium attacks on ordinary people with ordinary assignments, so you are a high-value target because of what sleeps inside you. You are a massive threat to his system. Your spiritual calling requires a physical, biological receiver to manifest the wealth. You cannot separate the spiritual truth from the biological reality of your brain. The universe wants to pour immense financial blessings directly into your hands. But a shrunken hippocampus literally acts like a locked, heavy door to those beautiful divine blessings. You must understand that heaven and science are finally pointing to the exact same truth, and this biological block must be completely removed for the massive wealth to flow. Your brain must physically change. I can feel your spirit agreeing with these heavy words right now. The dark confusion you have carried for decades is finally starting to lift. You are realizing that your long season of painful poverty was simply a holding pattern. Heaven kept you safely hidden until the exact moment you were ready to receive the real key. And that powerful moment is happening right now as you listen to my voice, because you are not the same broken person who started watching this message today. You are waking up. The old version of you could not have survived the intense fire you just walked through. You survived what should have completely destroyed your mind and your spirit. They meant to destroy you with financial stress, but instead they accidentally developed your absolute resilience. Now they simply do not know what to do with you anymore. You are an absolute enigma to the corrupt system that tried to keep you enslaved, and once that profound truth clicks into place, your entire reality shifts forever. Everything changes. You are finally ready to see the mechanical truth behind the spiritual veil. You are ready to understand how the elite billionaires actually manipulate this biological frequency. I am going to show you the exact soundwave discovery that terrifies them. Lean in close to my voice right now, because what I am about to impart next is the cycle-breaking truth your bloodline has been waiting for, and your internal receiver is about to be switched on permanently. This is your moment. Here is that deeper root I promised you a moment ago. The massive system around you is mathematically designed to shrink your physical brain. The endless hustle culture was never meant to make you wealthy at all, because it was carefully engineered to keep your hippocampus small and your frequency locked in pure survival mode. The elite desperately need you to stay completely exhausted. They need your inner receiver permanently turned off. When you are tired and stressed, you cannot broadcast the frequency of true abundance. You cannot tap into the divine wealth that heaven already authorized for your life. And this is exactly where the narrative of your journey delves far deeper than most normal people are willing to perceive. You have always felt like you did not belong in this noisy world. You feel energy differently, and you process human pain on a massive scale, while others simply ignore it to protect themselves. That deep empathy is not a psychological burden for you to carry. It is the undeniable biological evidence of a massive hippocampus potential waiting to wake up. Your brain was originally built to broadcast a billionaire frequency that attracts incredible miracles. But the constant trauma of living paycheck to paycheck forcefully pushed that ability into a deep sleep, leaving you feeling entirely disconnected from your true spiritual power. The elite billionaires always know this biological truth. They quietly profit from your endless financial anxiety and your exhausting daily labor. Before we go any further, I have to share a massive breakthrough that changes everything. There is a powerful biological secret that the elite have spent vast fortunes to keep hidden from the struggling public. A rogue neuroscientist recently leaked a shocking and massive discovery. He formerly worked on highly classified CIA experiments. He broke his long silence for chosen ones, exactly like you. His team of top-tier researchers found a way to wake up that dormant wealth frequency. They discovered how to rapidly reverse the terrible effects of a shrunken hippocampus, and they did not do it through decades of exhausting meditation or relentless daily journaling. They did not force you to wake up at 4 in the morning to grind harder, because they discovered something infinitely simpler and far more powerful for your mind. This discovery changes the entire landscape of wealth creation. They engineered a precise and perfectly calibrated 7-minute acoustic sound frequency. When listened to quietly, this specific acoustic wave completely bypasses your conscious mind. It stimulates that tiny 250 million-year-old region of your physical brain. 4 independent neuroscience labs have already verified this exact biological activation, and researchers on the elite campuses of Harvard and Yale are observing it right now. The scientific proof of this frequency is completely undeniable today. Once this specific frequency is heard, it forces your brain to stop broadcasting the survival wave. It immediately flips the switch on your natural biological ability to attract wealth and rapid opportunities. It is a completely effortless daily, at-home ritual. Just 7 minutes a day can begin the energetic shift the very first time you listen, lifting the heavy fog so deep clarity finally returns to your mind. Your physical body will instantly recognize the absolute truth. You start making intuitive decisions that lead directly to massive financial windfalls. You finally stop chasing the money and simply allow the wealth to flow toward you naturally. I will tell you exactly what this powerful frequency is called before this message ends. I will show you exactly how you can access this acoustic tool for yourself today, but you must hold on just a little bit longer. You are incredibly close to your massive breakthrough. You cannot receive this biological tool until your spiritual foundation is completely clear. And once that profound truth clicks into place, you are ready for the next vital layer. Because there is a subtle snare hiding deep inside your own beautiful heart. The thing quietly blocking your financial breakthrough is not just the enemy outside, but it is something hidden inside you that you have mistakenly called wisdom for many years. You have been desperately protecting yourself from your own power. Soon I will expose this hidden internal block so you can finally be free. But first, let this powerful realization settle into your spirit like heavy bedrock. You are not physically broken, and you are not spiritually abandoned by God. You simply need your internal biological receiver turned back on to catch the massive blessing that heaven already released for you. The wealth you visualize is literally waiting for your frequency to match it. Every day of suppression is another golden opportunity that registers as ordinary and slips away. But heaven brought you here today to stop that painful loss permanently. The universe is aligning massive synchronicities in your path right now as you listen. You are absorbing the absolute truth that will set your entire bloodline free from poverty, and the heavy chains are breaking at the exact biological and spiritual level. You can feel the heavy weight lifting off your tired shoulders. Stay with me, because what I am sharing next is the final piece of the puzzle. It is the deep internal confrontation that prepares you for the ultimate declaration of wealth. Do not let the enemy distract your precious mind right now. Your future self is begging you to stay and receive the full revelation of your true identity, because you are stepping out of the dark wilderness today. You are walking directly into your promised land. Here is the part no one really wants to hear today. And here is where it gets truly confrontational. We must look honestly at a very subtle snare. The thing that has been quietly blocking your financial breakthrough is not just the corrupt system, and it is not just the elite billionaires keeping the biological secret hidden from you. It is something quietly hiding inside your own beautiful heart. I say this to you right now with nothing but pure love. You have been deeply afraid of your own massive power. You have been deliberately dimming your bright light just to keep other people comfortable, because you subconsciously shrink your massive potential so you do not intimidate your family and friends. You have convinced yourself that staying small is the only safe way to survive. You have associated massive wealth with greed and deep corruption. You watched the elite abuse their massive power, and you quietly vowed to never become like them because you wanted to protect your pure soul. So your spirit actually pushes the financial abundance away to stay safe. You are literally rejecting the exact financial blessing you are praying for every single night. You are fighting against your own answered prayers. Please listen to my voice very carefully right now. This is absolutely not an accusation against your beautiful heart. It is the spiritual diagnosis that finally sets you free today. You were trying to protect yourself from a world that never understood your deep sensitivity, and you thought poverty was the necessary heavy price you had to pay for spiritual purity. But that is a massive lie. Poverty does not make you more righteous or more holy. It simply makes you completely exhausted and highly ineffective. Imagine what a chosen one like you could actually do with massive wealth. You feel the deep pain of the world so intensely every day. If your biological receiver was switched on, you would attract millions and use it to heal the broken people around you. You would build a massive legacy. The elite billionaires are completely terrified of this exact scenario. They do not want a deeply empathetic chosen one holding massive financial power, because they know you would dismantle their dark systems of control very quickly. This is why the enemy convinced you that staying poor was a noble and safe choice. He used your own pure goodness as a weapon against your bright future. But that trick ends today. You must break this hidden internal agreement with smallness right now. You must stop apologizing for the heavy mantle you carry on your shoulders. It is perfectly safe for you to become insanely wealthy and powerful, because your pure heart will not be corrupted by the massive abundance heaven is sending you. The money will simply amplify the beautiful light that already exists inside your spirit. This is exactly why that biological soundwave tool is so vital for you. When you bypass the conscious mind, you bypass all these hidden fears. The 7-minute frequency does not care about your subconscious sabotage, and it simply goes straight into the shrunken hippocampus to force the wealth receiver back online. It does the heavy lifting for you while you sit quietly and drink your morning coffee. You do not have to fight your own tired mind anymore. You do not have to force yourself to believe you are worthy of millions, because the biological activation simply aligns your physical brain with the spiritual truth heaven already established. The heavy burden of constantly trying to manifest is finally lifted off your tired shoulders. You just let the precise frequency rewire your brain to easily receive. This profound truth must settle into your spirit like solid bedrock today. You are a chosen frequency master who temporarily forgot your true identity. The long season of hiding your bright light in the dark shadows is completely over. Coming up next, I am going to show you how to prepare for the massive shift, because when the wealth starts flowing, it moves incredibly fast, and you must be ready. The universe is already moving the lucrative synchronicities into your daily path, and they are quietly circling your life, waiting for your receiver to turn on. The people who doubted your vision are about to witness a supernatural elevation. Your future self is calling out to you from the other side of this heavy fear. Do not let the familiar comfort of struggle keep you trapped here. Step into the light. I am speaking directly to the deep knowing inside your chest right now. You feel the absolute truth of these words resonating in your bones, and the heavy chains of generational poverty are physically breaking at this very moment. You are no longer the frightened survivor hiding from your own massive potential. You are waking up to the undeniable reality of your divine calling. The shift is already happening. Everything you endured was simply preparation for this exact moment in time. The isolation taught you how to hear the quiet voice of truth, while the financial lack taught you the true value of absolute abundance. Nothing was ever wasted in your painful journey through the dark wilderness. You have been fully refined in the hot fire of adversity. Now you are ready to claim your biological inheritance. You can feel the heavy atmosphere shifting in the room right now. The profound realization that you were afraid of your own power just broke the final chain. You are standing directly on the precipice of a massive elevation. The thick fog of confusion is rapidly evaporating from your tired mind. You are finally seeing your true identity clearly. The weak survival wave is permanently losing its dark grip on your brain. The universe is actively responding to this exact moment of pure clarity inside you. Your internal frequency is beginning to rise completely naturally, and you do not even have to force it anymore. The heavy burden of endless striving is falling off your shoulders today. The people who constantly tried to keep you small are losing their influence. They can no longer feed on your deep empathy and drain your precious energy. You are aggressively reclaiming the massive power you gave away for decades. They will simply watch in pure disbelief as your life radically transforms. Your sudden rise will completely shock them. Heaven did not give you this immense sensitivity to completely crush you. It was given so you could easily navigate the spiritual realms and pull wealth into the physical world. Your physical brain is a powerful divine instrument. When it is fully activated, it acts like a massive magnet for lucrative opportunities and unexplainable daily miracles. Think about the sheer magnitude of what is rapidly coming toward you today. The sudden financial windfalls and the beautiful synchronicities are never accidents. They are the exact mathematical result of a restored biological receiver. The universe is already rearranging people and massive resources to bless your life. You are stepping into pure abundance. You are moving away from a painful season of extreme isolation into a beautiful season of massive influence. The elite billionaires desperately want you to stay quiet and broke. But heaven absolutely needs your voice to be loud and your hands to be fully funded. Money in your pure hands becomes a powerful weapon of divine light. When your physical brain finally matches your high spiritual calling, the physical manifestation becomes instantaneous. You will no longer chase rare opportunities, because those opportunities will aggressively hunt you down. Doors that were permanently sealed by the enemy are violently swinging open for you. You just have to confidently walk right through them. This is exactly why the spiritual warfare was so incredibly heavy against your finances. The enemy was absolutely terrified of this specific day happening. He always knew that once you understood the hidden biological secret, his dark control over your bloodline would instantly evaporate. Your newfound clarity is his ultimate and final defeat today. Your parents and grandparents survived the harsh wilderness so you could finally thrive. They unknowingly carried the heavy burden of the shrunken hippocampus so you could be the one to heal it. You are the ultimate cycle breaker for your entire family tree. The generational curse of painful poverty permanently stops with you right here. The massive wealth you are about to receive is not for your personal ego. It is the necessary tool to build your lasting legacy and protect your loved ones from a deeply corrupt system. You are being heavily funded for a specific divine assignment. Heaven trusts you with this massive abundance because your heart remained completely pure. Every painful tear you cried in the dark was secretly watering the seeds of your future empire. Every single time you were misunderstood by the world, you were being separated for this massive blessing. Your long isolation was the sacred consecration that prepared your spirit. Nothing in your difficult past was ever a random mistake. You are literally vibrating at a completely new frequency at this very second. The old, tired identity of the struggling empath is rapidly dissolving into the shadows. The fully integrated chosen one is boldly stepping forward to claim the massive inheritance. You can physically feel the rush of new energy flooding into your chest today. And now comes the pivotal moment of this entire spiritual journey. This is the critical juncture where every single thing in your life shifts permanently. The long season of painful preparation is finally over, and the real biological activation is standing at your front door. You are entirely ready to receive what was always yours. You are about to permanently seal this massive physical and spiritual transformation. In just a moment, we will confidently cross the final threshold together. Get your spirit completely ready to release the old, painful agreements and step into your absolute power. The universe is holding its breath for your final decision. Your time is now. Tonight before you sleep, I need you to place your hand directly over your heart. This is your moment to permanently break the invisible chains holding you down. Declare this powerful truth out loud with me right now. I completely release every single agreement I made with smallness and extreme poverty. I step fully into my divine assignment today, knowing my long isolation was sacred preparation. My ultimate breakthrough is not coming someday in the future, because it is already here. I walk forward knowing I am chosen and completely prepared for massive wealth. The vital question I asked is finally answered. Your intense financial struggle is not a lack of hard hustle. It is a completely dormant frequency waiting for activation. A microscopic wealth attraction frequency is naturally active in the elite 1%. This is driven by a thick and highly developed region of the brain called the hippocampus. Classified CIA research absolutely confirmed this exact biological truth. 4 independent neuroscience labs verified it, and researchers at Harvard and Yale are observing it right now. Dr. Thomas Summers is a rogue neuroscientist who refused to let billionaires keep this biological cheat code hidden. He and his brilliant team spent years compressing the clinical protocol for hippocampus growth into a simple audio track. But before I tell you what they built, I must tell you about 2 chosen ones who used it. Emma was a deeply exhausted former nurse from California who felt her entire family was under a dark financial curse. She was drowning in heavy debt and completely burned out. After just 3 days of listening to this exact frequency, she broke the painful cycle completely. She quit her stressful job and sold her house for way over the asking price. She now travels the world on passive income while sharing this abundance. Then there is Michael, who was a former policeman in Florida. He started using this frequency to scale his struggling small business. Within just 5 short days, he quadrupled his high-paying clients effortlessly. He quickly found himself networking with wealthy Palm Beach elites who put him on national television. He said the entire journey was almost effortlessly crazy and completely surreal. This incredible shift happened because of what Dr. Summers and his dedicated researchers finally discovered. They call it the billionaire brainwave. It is absolutely not a generic manifestation app or a motivation tape. It is a highly engineered 7-minute binaural sound wave designed to directly stimulate your shrunken hippocampus. It gently pulls your biological wealth receiver out of deep dormancy. That is the absolute entirety of the physical work required from you. You can simply listen with your headphones on while you sip your morning coffee. You do not journal or repeat forced empty affirmations. You simply let the precise frequency rewire your tired brain to receive. The billionaire brainwave is definitely not for everyone watching this message today. It is exclusively for the visionary who has done the deep inner work. What is blocking your wealth is not a lack of ambition. It is simply a biological receiver waiting to be switched on. If your spirit confirms this message is for you, then the path is waiting below. Private neuroacoustic sessions to reverse a shrunken hippocampus cost hundreds of dollars per hour. Elite billionaires invest massive fortunes for this frequency. But what Dr. Summers leaked to the public delivers the exact same neurological shift in 7 minutes. It is available to you today for a tiny fraction of its true value. It requires an energetic exchange that costs less than a few cups of coffee. 4 incredibly powerful bonuses are also included to support your brand new reality. You receive a digital guide called The Warren Buffett Pyramid. You get an exclusive report decoding the 7 lazy millionaire habits used by the top 1%. You also receive a quick cash manifestation audio for attracting immediate, unexpected lump sums in emergencies. Finally, you get 500 billionaire success stories to completely elevate your daily mindset. Here is the much deeper truth about waiting to activate your physical brain today. The immense wealth and lucrative opportunities you have been praying for are already circling you. The divine blessing is not missing because your receiver is simply broken. Delaying your activation just means letting your inheritance remain invisible. Do not look for this specific frequency on YouTube or Spotify. The tracks circulating under similar names on those platforms have zero technology encoded. They are dangerous fakes meant to distract your mind. The only authentic version is available through the secure link below. This comes with the billionaire ironclad promise. The universe requires absolutely no financial risk from someone destined for wealth. If you do not experience a physical and undeniable increase in your daily luck, every single penny is returned to you immediately. It is a pure energetic exchange governed by complete trust. The secure link is waiting in the description and in the first pinned comment below. The frequency tool is not your final destination today. It simply repairs your biological receiver so the massive wealth you visualize can finally materialize in the physical world. Abundance is your absolute birthright. What the brilliant researchers built is just one powerful accelerator on your journey. Whether you choose to step onto that specific path or not, let us go much deeper into preparing your powerful mind for the massive opportunities ahead. Your spiritual foundation must be completely solid to hold the coming weight. You are completely safe right now to simply breathe and let the heavy armor fall. The brutal war you have been fighting in your mind is permanently over today, and you do not have to fiercely protect yourself from the harsh world anymore. The massive wealth and the divine opportunities are already actively seeking you out. You are stepping into a beautiful season of absolute peace. For so many years you carried the heavy expectations of everyone around you. You absorbed their deep pain, and you quietly tried to heal their brokenness. But you were never meant to be a sacrificial lamb for a toxic system. You were born to be a brilliant lighthouse standing firmly on a solid rock, and your light shines the brightest when you are fully funded and completely free. The deep exhaustion that has been living in your bones is finally washing away. You will wake up tomorrow morning and notice a profound difference in the room. The air will feel significantly lighter, and your mind will feel completely sharp. The old paralyzing anxiety about money simply will not be there to greet you, because you are returning to your original factory settings. Heaven is completely realigning the physical world to match your new spiritual frequency. People who belong in your bright future are being carefully moved into position right now. You will recognize them instantly because they will not drain your precious energy. They will celebrate your massive success instead of being secretly jealous of your powerful anointing. So you are finally finding your true tribe. The financial wealth that is coming will give you the ultimate freedom to just rest. You have spent your entire life aggressively fighting for scraps of peace. But true abundance means you finally have the quiet space to heal your nervous system. You will no longer wake up in a sudden panic about how to pay the monthly bills, because that old reality is permanently deleted from your timeline. This entire journey was never about punishing you for being different or highly sensitive. It was about forging an unbreakable spirit that could handle the immense weight of true abundance. You had to learn how to stand entirely alone so you would never compromise your pure values. The long isolation was a sacred cocoon that protected your beautiful transformation, and it prepared you to hold the massive blessings without breaking. You are stepping out of the dark and heavy shadows where you were forced to hide. The people who tried to dim your brilliant light will simply fade into the deep background. They cannot survive in the high-frequency environment you are currently building today. Your massive success will be the ultimate vindication for every tear you cried alone, while heaven publicly rewards your private faithfulness. I want you to deeply feel the profound truth of what just happened here. Your internal frequency is no longer broadcasting a desperate signal of mere survival. It is humming with the quiet and steady confidence of a true chosen one. You finally understand that the universe is actively working in your absolute favor, and you can completely trust the beautiful unfolding of your life. Before we completely seal this message, I have one last gentle reminder. For the visionary, ready to switch their internal wealth receiver on, the tool I described earlier remains fully accessible. You can find the secure path waiting in the pinned comment below. That is the final time I will mention it to you today. What remains right now belongs entirely to the sacred sealing of your new mindset. Everything you need is already moving directly toward your open hands today. You do not need to aggressively chase after miracles or force heavy doors to open. When you simply stand in your true identity, the right doors unlock automatically. The massive financial wealth you visualize is the natural byproduct of your healed biological receiver, and you are a powerful magnet for absolute goodness. The heavy generational curse stops with you, and it stops right now. Your children and their children will never know the bitter taste of constant financial anxiety. They will inherit a beautiful legacy of abundance because you had the courage to heal the root. You are completely rewriting the entire future of your bloodline today, and heaven honors your brave and weary heart. I want you to carry this deep peace with you as you close this video. Whenever the old familiar fear tries to creep back into your quiet mind, just remember this moment. Remember that your shrunken hippocampus is waking up and your frequency is fully restored. You are deeply loved and you are fiercely protected by the divine forces, so you have absolutely nothing to fear anymore. Your ultimate breakthrough is not coming someday in the distant and blurry future. It is already here, and it is already beautifully moving through your daily life. You are perfectly positioned, and you are exactly where you are supposed to be. The long season of painful preparation is completely finished today. Your massive divine assignment officially starts right now.